Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Araco TV. This is actually a pretty serious topic. So many teachers nowadays are diddling kids and are being exposed for having OnlyFans. So our youth is getting taught by, morally bankrupt people. And LGBTQ trans are infiltrating our schools and teaching our kids and our children some of these weird things that most of us probably don't want. And I think this is also a part of the reasons of the passport, bro. I would rather raise my kids outside of this country than in this country just because how the public school system works. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
I was a high school English teacher at a school in Missouri teaching freshman and sophomore English, and it was a dream come true. The downside of teaching was that I was barely making enough to survive. I went to college, I got my master's degree, and then I was working on a third degree, a specialist degree.
Why do you need a third degree, a specialist degree, when you've gone so much schooling already? You're just putting yourself more in debt. This is the problem I have with colleges and this education system that we have here in the United States. We're paying massive amount of money in debt to collect these certificates, these degrees, which a lot of them you're not able to use for anything. So for you to collect 3 certificates, 3 degrees, like, what did it really get you other than debt?
And my student loan debt was piling up. Then about 6 months ago, my husband was laid off and things got really difficult for us. In the past, my husband and I had joked about making money on an adult fan page. So in May of this year, we just decided to go for it. We knew that there were risks, but we were honestly just in a tough situation, and it was supposed to just stay our secret.
This is very similar to how YouTubers, when they are in down and out, they ask for donations. For women, when they're down and out and they need more work and like side jobs, they go to OnlyFans.
By July, we were making around $10,000 a month, and I
My
started to get
God.
nervous that I was going to be found out. And in mid-September, one day after class, 2 school administrators knocked on my classroom door and said that we needed to talk. My heart dropped. I knew my secret had been discovered, and I knew I had been found out.
Now, I feel like some of these teachers are like getting exposed in such a big way purposely because it's free press for them. Now all their kids, especially if they're high school kids, they're all gonna just go into their OnlyFans and start subscribing. So this, like them always wanting to push back on like, oh, I was doing this on my own and that has nothing to do with teaching. It shouldn't affect me, but it does, because you are kind of exposing these kids into you so you can kind of propagate yourself to make more money. And for you to battle the way this is on the news and stuff, it's just more, eyes on you. So all of these exposed articles, all of these like things that are exposing teachers, and it's just making these teachers richer.
Her and her husband, they weren't just taking pictures on OnlyFans, they were doing videos, and they even collaborated with another couple that were a lot more famous than them, and that's how she got found out. Now apparently she was blurring her face in the video, but the husband wasn't. Someone connected the dots, sent it to the school, and she got exposed.
The St. Clair County School District placed a high school English teacher on leave after discovering her profile on a website, OnlyFans. What the fuck?
But while she was suspended, it got even worse, and she decided to leave because someone got the link of the OnlyFans and they posted it on the school Facebook group, which meant everyone in the school saw it, including the students.
God damn it! You can't make this.
And let's see how much she made during this time of turmoil of them exposing her.
Shut up!
This also meant that she made a shit ton of money in a very short amount of time, and she is no longer in debt.
It's her story. It's on the local news. It's on the national news. It makes the front page of Reddit. It's blowing up. So more.
Yeah, I feel like these news articles and stuff are all they are like psyops in a sense to get more people to sign up to these particular girls, to more OnlyFans. It's literally a psyop to bring more people into OnlyFans and to be more degenerate in a sense. And that's just my opinion, because really,
more people are going over to check out her account, and more people check it out, and more people check it out, and they keep checking it out, and eventually she has tens of thousands of subscribers, all who are paying to see her. And she just reported that in that 5 months since all this blew up, she's made nearly $1 million.
and there you guys go. And this is why I say what I said. In 6 months during this turmoil, made $1 million. Most of us won't even see that kind of money in our lifetime. And these women just can make it in 6 months. Isn't that crazy?
The only excuses that she uses is that she was in debt, and when other people say to her, well, you could have found a more child-friendly side hustle considering you're a teacher and you're meant to be a role model, she just says, oh, well, teaching takes too much time, there's nothing else I could do.
It's just like the
I mean, tell you guys the truth, I got offered to join someone in OnlyFans because I guess I'm pretty good or whatever it is. And it's not like, it's so crazy that it's such a thing nowadays, this OnlyFans stuff and how much it makes. Like I had the choice to choose OnlyFans or do this. I chose this. Not that this makes more money or anything. This, I just feel more morally non-bankrupt doing this. And I feel like I'm doing a good job or like a good Samaritan thing by helping men out. Again, I could be a degenerate. I could, pander to women too and make content about that. But that's not me. I don't want to have to pretend or pander or anything. Like, I don't mind critiquing my words here and there because of YouTube algorithm and just how YouTube works, which is fine, but I don't want people to associate me with as being a complete degenerate, which I mean, people that know me like throughout most of my life might consider me that already though, so I don't know.
those connections that I'm going to miss. Missouri is one of the lowest states in the nation for teacher pay. And then the district I was working for is also one of the lowest paying districts.
And this is, again, us in Red Pill in the Manosphere. What do we always say? Women have the choice to choose whatever career, whatever degree they want. And they always seem to choose the careers and jobs that pertain to people that pay the least. It is through their own choices why they are making that much money. It is not men's fault or the patriarchy is pushing them down. No, women have their own preferences, and their own preferences lead them to working with people and children. It's just how nature works.
In the state, people asking, why didn't you just get like a part-time job somewhere? But teachers also take all of their work home. Like, we don't get to stop working when we leave the school day. We don't get to grade all 130 students' papers during the day. It's just not possible when you're teaching. So we take that work home with us on the evenings, on the weekends.
Such a bullshit answer. Oh, because I have to take the work home. I can't get certain side jobs. You spend probably a few hours working your OnlyFans page with your husband, making content and stuff. That seems legit about the same few hours you would use to do a part-time job. Just my assumption.
So getting a second job is just really not possible.
Well, you found time to meet up with the other couple and
Right?
do the business of them. And I'm sure there's plenty of teachers out there that have other side hustles. I've seen other teachers doing things on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram.
I actually know a teacher. He just retired. His name is Forrest. Shout outs to Forrest. He has a YouTube channel. I met him in the Dan Henderson Fight Nights. And he does YouTube. He does historical YouTubes. He'll go to sites and record and voiceover. He does very well. He's almost at 100,000. He's going to invite me to, hopefully he invites me to his 100,000 party. But yeah, he was a teacher. He's retired now, but yeah, his YouTube is actually very successful. He's almost at 100,000. He has quite a few videos, and he just does history videos of like trains, wars, and things like that he enjoys. And he does pretty good money. Like, and it's an extra 4,000, 8,000, depending, a month for him, plus his retirement now. So yes, there were other options.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to sell your dignity. And the funniest excuse that she uses is when she says the handbook policies are vague. As if you're meant to say in the handbook, please don't be a star when you're a teacher.
Our handbook policies are very vague and they just say something about like represent yourself well. Did I violate that? I feel like that's a matter of opinion.
Are you delusional? Do you suffer from a mental illness?
Maybe.
Students were never meant to see this. And I know people are saying, well, you taught high school, they were bound to find it
Correct.
at some point. Maybe not.
Now,
No, see that you're just delusional and you're just talking out of your ass now. Maybe not. You knew. I
don't know what's going in the coffee of these teachers at that school, but believe it or not, there's another teacher who's been exposed from the same school for doing the exact same thing.
The same
I beg your
school?
pardon.
Update, they just found another teacher who had a secret OnlyFans account from that
jeez.
same school.
School has no right to tell me what I can and cannot do once I come home at night.
A second saying
You know what? I actually somewhat agree with that take. Jobs and companies should not have the right to punish you for what you do outside of the company, which I somewhat agree. But I also understand when you work for a company, you are sort of a representative of that company, especially if you're doing things in public. If you're doing things behind the scenes, I can see why companies won't care. Nobody cares. But when you're publicizing these things, it does put a bad image on some companies. It's just how it is. And then for teaching, oh yeah, it really puts a bad light for these teachers and the people in the teaching career.
St. Clair high school teacher pushing adult content online, now on leave.
I refuse to resign for something that I don't feel like I did
Oh,
wrong.
see, she wants to battle because she knows she's getting free press.
So they're going to have to either let me come back or they're going to have to find a way to fire me.
You want to
I don't understand why they want to become teachers again. You're already making crazy money doing whatever the fuck you're doing with OnlyFans, and you have a better lifestyle now. Why do you still want to be the teacher? Like, why do you want that? Like, I don't understand that at all. Like that teacher that made $1 million in the 6 months during the whole ordeal. Why do you want to go back teaching? Like, everybody knows you are this person. We don't want you teaching our kids. Why?
another fucking planet, would you encourage your students to do the same thing? Actually, maybe you would. Who the fuck knows these days? But when I went to school, this type of shit was not encouraged, and definitely not something a teacher would be doing. And she's got the same excuse as the last one, basically too lazy to think of another way to make money, and the handbook wasn't clear.
With 2 graduate degrees, student loans piled up, totaling about $126,000.
Again, I feel it's a racket. I feel it's like a vicious cycle to get women to come into the to go to college, be in massive debt, and the only way really to get themselves out of this debt is to do OnlyFans. I think it's some kind of racket to perpetuate degeneracy and OnlyFans and corn to men and women on a like consistent basis. And this is the way they're doing it. Like through this vicious cycle of student loans, debt, and fucking interest payments.
I thought about getting a second job, but when I thought about, how busy I am with coaching and with teaching, teaching isn't just 7:30 to 3:30.
What, so you just bang someone for 30 minutes, record everything, and it's all done and good to go? Or what? No, you spend hours editing, you do all these things. Like, it is the same amount of time that you would put in on a part-time job. This is the confusing part.
Every day. I know it doesn't look good, but I truly did not want this. And in a heartbeat,
you're lying.
I would give it all up. I would give every
You fucking
penny
liar.
back.
Why lying for?
It wouldn't surprise me if she leaked that shit herself once she
Right?
found
That's
out
what
the
I was
other one
thinking.
making a bunch of money.
Her friend and former St. Clair teacher Brianna Coppage gained local and national attention when her OnlyFans account was revealed to the district. Gaither says she immediately deleted her OnlyFans when Coppage was exposed. She thinks she was discovered in mid-October after another woman posted this Halloween picture and tagged Coppage.
They blurred my face, but I didn't realize that was going to be posted on Twitter. And so as soon as that picture was posted, almost immediately I started getting...
Isn't it crazy, guys, how the things you post can lead back to ruining you? This is how deep internet is and how, like, it's the good and the bad of the internet. Everything is so documented. Everything, like, all your posts, all the stupid things you said when you were a kid, especially the younger generation, they're more non-filtered when it comes to their Twitters and their tweets and stuff like that. When I was growing up, I would have never said some of the things these people say to other people. It's just ridiculous to me.
Messages and letters from students tacked on my door and whatnot, saying that they know my secret and that I was caught.
See, what annoys me about these two women is how fake they are. They make out that they wish it never came out, and if they could turn back the clock that they wouldn't do it again. But they know damn well a bunch of that money is coming from students, directly and indirectly, because the publicity they're getting from the students is getting them more money. And because of the fact they're teachers, it creates a little fantasy in the students' heads.
I had plenty of good-looking teachers when I was in school. I definitely had some fantasies about them.
And it makes them want to pay for it. And she said she felt so bad, she deleted it, but she made another one straight away, and now she's laughing to the bank.
I've cried a lot. It literally feels like I'm losing a part of myself.
Gaither tells me she doesn't think she'll ever be able to teach again in the district or others in the area.
Well, no fucking shit.
When this happened, she did start a new OnlyFans account, this time using her real name.
Oh yeah, because now everybody knows her real
Since she's had
name.
it, she's made $65,000.
Mother of God. $65,000 during that time, just when she switched over to the new one.
Both Gaither and Coppage tell me the employee handbook doesn't have a clear morality clause, but says you should be a good role model in the community.
It's the same poor excuses. We don't earn enough. There's no time for side hustles. It wasn't clear in the handbook. This one did the same thing.
Intimate images posted online, sparking a public discussion. The images ended up costing 35-year-old Kristen McDonald her day job as a teaching assistant in the Coquitlam School District.
I have a concern.
The district.
This is becoming a huge ordeal with teachers, man. Like, why go through all this degree, all this schooling, to kind of just trash it, really? Like, they are literally trashing their degree and trashing their credentials. So all that schooling that you went for, you kind of just eliminated all of that and spent all that money for nothing, because now these degrees are useless because you've been found out for doing porn.
Sending her a termination letter June 16.
I did expect it. There was still a part of me that was hopeful.
McDonald has been posting adult content to the internet. The single mother says her salary as an EA doesn't cover her expenses, so she turned to OnlyFans as a side hustle. Her employer, School District 43, caught wind of her online presence and demanded she stop and pull the images down. McDonald refused and went public with her predicament, arguing what she does in her private time is none of her employer's business.
Regardless of people's opinions and their, the way they feel, the morality of it all, I don't believe I deserve to lose my job.
There's no connection between this fictional persona and her job.
Man, give me a fucking break. This should not even
It's the same person. That's the connection.
be a conversation. There's no way an adult entertainer should be in a classroom teaching high school kids. There's only one place they belong.
She belongs to the streets.
You know what? That was some scary chow. So many degenerate teachers and so many degenerate women now. And women kind of dominate the teaching field. You know, it's crazy that they're going to get these degrees, going in debt, end up doing OnlyFans to pay off their debt, and then make their degrees useless because they got caught. This is such a crazy, vicious cycle. And even more reason for Passport Bros to leave. Look, even if you had kids here and you brought your wife here and she didn't acclimate to, whatever the shitty shit is, but your kids, unless you're doing private school and your wife is going to homeschool them, they're going to be exposed to a lot of these things out there. I don't want my kids exposed like that. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.